Cool. So everything is holy shit. I have to go check the phone. But it seems like everything is working, which is cool. By the way, if it's not already apparent, there's no fucking way I'm going out tonight. And there's no fucking way that I think New Year's Eve is something when I was in my 20s, I loved it. When I was in my late teens, I loved it. 30s and now I'm 40, I prefer to stay home. To me, it's like any other night. But y'all can mire over that with your own thoughts, of course, because everyone are independent thinkers. Raging Cajun is here. Happy New Year to my friend Raging Cajun. Very nice. All right. I'm just getting this whole thing set up. I'm just doing this for myself tonight. I'm what the fuck time is it? 8:04. I plan to be asleep before 11. Talk about an old man. But anyway, we'll get into that. And I actually have a lot of things, a lot of videos, assuming that they let me show them. Because when they don't let me show things, I get extraordinarily angry. And the reason that I get extraordinarily angry is because just because people don't agree with certain videos that perhaps the government suppresses doesn't mean that governments should be allowed to suppress those videos. I don't even know what my repertoire tonight is going to be yet. Maybe we're going to do some UFOs. Maybe we're going to do some space weather. Maybe we're going to do some fog because everyone seems to be fucking obsessed with the fog lately, which I've had, and I'm not scratching, and body language could be another video, but I'm not scratching my nose because I'm nervous. I'm scratching my nose not for body language because my nose is fucking itchy. My face is fucking itchy as fuck. It's probably because of all the crack I smoked. Just kidding. I don't smoke crack. My name is not Hunter Biden. All right, I'll be right back. I'm just trying to keep everything sort of I need to make sure because I had a fantastic JB Rants had a fantastic live stream earlier, and my phone ran out because I didn't have my phone plugged in, which happens. Oh, and by the way, I still look the same. Just a nerd from Boston. But I like to, for some reason, I like to wear my black MAGA hat combined with my prescription sunglasses, and I think I fucking kind of look like, I don't know, something. But anyway, we'll keep that there. And what we're going to do initially is, in case they've changed anything, what I like to do, just in... Ragin said, wet and windy here. Cool. Yeah, I guess my area is supposed to, which I hope doesn't happen, but I mean, you can't deny weather. I think they're going to do... How do I say shit like this without, like, turning... Because what I like to do is I like to talk about stuff that's just like in the normal sphere of conversation, as it were. And yet it seems like more and more when I try to do that, it's like everything is becoming what I used to view as conspiracy, and now it is conspiracy. And I'm like, fuck these people. And here's why is because they're saying, because I believe it or not, I follow more than just conspiracy channels. I follow all kinds of things. I'm 40 years old. I follow channels, a lot of the channels that you follow. Hopefully, no kids watch this channel. This is not a kids channel. If you are an adult and have kids that watch JB Rant, make sure they never watch it again because they're not allowed to. Okay? This is adults only. The information that I provide is not 18 plus, it's 21 plus. In fact, it's probably 25 plus. Dare I contemplate that legal jurisdiction, as it were? Because even a lot of, I'm 40, even a lot of young people that I meet, they can't, when you have at the grocery store, at the bar, when I used to go to bars and stuff, they just don't get it. They don't get how bad it is. And I'm not here to make anyone depressed, and I'm not here to make anyone fearful, although I live in a very depressed and fearful sort of life because I understand what's going on, but that's okay. Put that on my shoulders. I'll do that for y'all, okay? I don't want any money. I don't want any donations. I don't Patreon. I don't know what any of that shit is. I don't care about any of that crap. All I'm saying is what's happening in the world today is so serious and so unbelievably just like evil off the cuff, like just, yeah, let's just deal out some evil. That's what we're gonna do, you know. That I'm just so glad that I have someone like Raging Cajun to at least if I throw waves out there and those waves come back, Raging Cajun is the wall that the waves splash off of. So let's see Raging's last comment. I'm just waiting for winter to get over so you can have some fishing videos done. Damn right. Yeah, but who knows if we're all going to be alive. I didn't get a lot of fishing videos done this year because I didn't feel like filming. I just, in my body, I didn't feel like filming. And people were just super weird, like every single day. And this actually, Ragin is almost a psychic, ties into the topic that I wanted to, not topic, but just my rant, because I am JB Rants after all. But my favorite place to fish is one of the best places to fish for all kinds. Cold water, warm water. You can catch bass, pickerel, crappie, everything. Trout on the underwater bridge separation between the two areas of Horn Pond and Woburn. Really, really amazing place to fish. And I didn't have a good season there that year. Carp, fantastic season this year. But carp are kind of like you throw a shiny hook in the water when you know what you're doing, you're going to be pulling in, monster sized fish, but they're carp. I want the beautiful rainbow trout that's this big, 14, 16 inches. And hopefully, which has always happened for me, thank God, you don't damage them. You don't hurt their scales. You get the hook out quick and you put them back in the water and they swim away because I love rainbow trout and they're my fish family in the water. Rainbow trout, all trout, really. I love bass, I love perch, I love pickerel. I only caught about 4 fish last year, which is, as an adult, probably my historic low, and, that's attributed, I think, to the fact that I didn't go out as much as I did the year before, which is my fault, obviously, but also, the water was greener, and there were tons more birds and all kinds of stuff, and just anything can I just say this? Of course I can say this. It's my fucking show. I have Hispanic families. Yes. Oh, JB, you can I have fucking Hispanic families with baby strollers. Not all of them, but some of them. Being loud and literally throwing crap in the water. There's a garbage can right there. There's a state sanctioned garbage can right there. There's one right there. This is where I'm fishing. It's about 30 feet wide. And you have to throw your trash in the water? Speaking not the language of my country? How about you're a piece of shit? Oh, JB, you're a racist. No, I'm not. These people are a piece of shit. I'm sick of it. Zero respect. It's almost like, here's my point. Here's my fucking point. It's almost like they do it on purpose. Oh, JB, do you think illegal immigrants are walking their baby strollers while carrying 5 babies and purposefully throwing their garbage in front of you because you're a white person while you're fishing when there are garbage cans on the left and the right to 30 feet each way? And you could just put your garbage in there? Do you think that they're doing that to say, fuck you, America? Yes, I do. I actually do. And I'd be curious to see what this comment section says tomorrow. Because all I want to do is take my 2 fucking fishing rods and go fishing. And just not talk to anyone and just listen to YouTube and put it on the ground and catch trout or catch carp or catch bass. And I've got these fucking Hispanics. I mean, wives, quote unquote, wives with guts the size of Vince Wilfork for those who are from Boston. I mean, these women look like balloons. Not all of them. Some of them are really hot. But, I mean, some of these disgusting, and their asses look like 2 basketballs. And they got this gut, and they spit on the ground. I mean, I spit on the ground, but I should be allowed to spit on the ground because I'm a fucking guy smoking cigarettes and fishing. But I mean, you got these women with babies walking around with 2 tits that look like basketballs and asses that look like 2 basketballs, with shirts that don't even fit. Walmart nonsense. And they're going, and they just, it's like, yo, I don't even do that in front of people at the mall, and I hate the mall. I haven't been to the mall in fucking 15 years. But when I would have to, because I smoke, when I would have to do that, I would hawk it up, and then you go somewhere behind a bush and on the ground. These people, they're spitting in front of you because they're like, yo, white American, we're taking over your motherfucking country. I mean, that's actually what's happening, in my opinion. Chat's blown up. Oh, it's raging, and Someone called Craig the Hunter. All right, cool. Anyway, I get angry. So I'm going to approach this very differently next season. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have my same exact setup. My fishing setup, I'm going to have it just the same. Which what I like to do. I broke one rod, so I only did 2 rods last year, but I'm going to get a new one. So I like to keep 2 rods on the bottom and 1 rod I actively cast. So I'm gonna get a new rod and a new. I can obviously harvest the reel, and I'm gonna have 1 rod on the bottom for something like a float bait for trout, and 1 rod on the bottom, which who the fuck knows what I happen to choose depending on the time of year. It could be a bass worm on there, and you just reel it in every 4 seconds and just leave it, and then so that one is passive as well. But I also like to have an active rod that I cast, whether it's a top water or just a basic red and white daredevil, which is the best lure in the history of the planet. For those fishermen who don't know, literally the best lure for freshwater game fish is the daredevil. And the 3.5 inch is preferred, but also you can go with the 2 inch, which catches almost everything. It's almost magic. When the day is good, just like the day is good. Why are people still in my chat? What the fuck is this crap? I'm not even doing a good show. Enjoying the rants, JB. Thank you. Raging Cajun. Cool. One of the best situations you can ever be in, and only fishermen will understand this, and it's a horrible situation to be in. It's the best and the worst all at the same time, is when you find the best fishing place for striped bass, saltwater, tributaries, or salt marsh. Low water, it's mud. High tide, it's at least 6 feet. And you know that if you cast anything out there, you're going to get probably a champion striper of your life. However, at the same time, you're being bitten, if you're in Massachusetts, by a bug called greenheads. They're a certain type of poisonous biting fly, 1,000 times worse than mosquitoes, and they hit you like a dive bomber. Like if you picture a plane, like a war plane. All right, so I don't want to say that because there have been a lot of plane crashes lately. So just picture something with some weight hitting you, even though it's a bug, but some like fucking, and you're getting about 20 an hour. And every time they hit, it's not like it's a hit or miss. It's not like they just hit and, oh, yeah, because I'm wearing some insect repellent and they just fly away. No. They have some sort of, someone in the chat is smarter or as smart as me because I know what it's called. It's called a proboscis, I think. It's the thing that they use in their mouth to right into your skin and extract blood and be a horrible type of fly. I think it's called a probost. Probost. Someone can fact check me on that. Oh, but those things suck so bad. I actually have 2 comments here. Sit on the top of my mountain, sip from this jar, and listen to my neighbors. Is that birds and cats? Horses and cows. Have a blessed new year, y'all. Cool, thank you, Raging Cajun. And to follow that, Mr. Craig says, we have brackish water here, which for those who don't know is basically a mixture of salt and fresh. Some of the best fishing in there, by the way. On Lake Pontchartrain. Oh shit, you're from New Orleans. The only places I've been in my life are I'm from Massachusetts. I've been to New Hampshire, Vermont, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Maine, Quebec, and in high school I went to New Orleans. So I knew Lake Pontchartrain 1 year before you know what I'm about to say. Yeah, well, you guys get those. One of the tastiest fish on the planet are, in my opinion, white perch, and are most prominent in, or some people call them white bass. So it is what it is. But I hate people who say it is what it is. So they are what they are. Are they white perch? Are they white bass? I hate it when people just call them whitefish. How do they fucking judge them? Is it by the gills? All I know is the good ones get about this big, the size of a size 7 child's shoe. They don't get that big. But when they're biting, you can fill a bucket with them, and they're very, very nice fish. Nice to fight, pretty easy to catch, and really nice looking, easy to scale. In a pan with butter, salt, and pepper. That's all you need, and they're freaking amazing. They're freaking amazing. I'm hanging out with Mr. Craig Doe, Craig the Hunter. My best fishing memories when I was a kid with my late father, and I mean, I'm 40, so this is a long time ago, but it's not ancient history. I remember stumbling upon it was a cloudy day, and the wind was blowing. It was not nice. It was not conducive to fishing, especially if you're trying to cast into it with light line. It was not very conducive to that, nor fun, nor easy. But just that particular day, we obviously discovered a school of perch. We didn't keep any of these perch this particular day. But if we did, we would have filled a bucket. We would have filled 2 buckets. And we were just at that point, we started off with the easiest thing when you're a kid. I was a child, so I didn't really know about baits yet, but I knew about fishing, obviously. And we were just throwing like earthworms and stuff. And of course, fish just eat up earthworms like, you don't even have to try with the bobber. And then throwing jigs and catching them. And then throwing spoons and catching them. And then throwing fucking, I think that's when believe it or not, I think that's when I threw my first ever spinnerbait with just 2 blades and a yellow skirt and just a basic weight, nothing to go out 100 meters or whatever, just a small one from, oh, by the way, A lot of people don't remember this. When I was a kid, instead of having to fucking go to Walmart, in order to get your fishing necessities or like a true value in the back alley, like a crack deal sort of scenario, there used to be things called bait stores and tackle shops, bait and tackle shops you could actually go to, and you knew the person and they knew you, especially as a kid, because they wanted to maintain their business. And they would give you not only, and I still actually know one that's still around. I'm not going to give it out on the internet, I can tell you that. But we used to go to them as a kid, and if you're fishing live bait that day, they'll sell you a bucket of shiners, give you a few extra, like a few extra pepperonis on a pizza, kind of, if they liked you, and say where things are biting and what to do these days. Actually, I know two. I said I know one, I know two. I know one on the South Shore and one on the North Shore. And if y'all know who they are, you already know who they are, so you don't need to hear about them from me, right? But it's really, really nostalgic for me to think about the fact that even I rely on like fucking Google a lot and stuff for fishing reports and things of that nature. But what I do is I mix them up when I go. I hear from the people, and then I also double check it with the Google fishing reports, which is it is what it is. All right, but anyway, I wasn't just here to do this. I came on just to be on because it is New Year's Eve. I have nothing to do. I'm not going out. I've got some back channels and all kinds of crap going on there, but I'm just gonna relax on the internet and do whatever JB does. But fishing is on my mind. I can't wait. Oh, and shit, here's the other thing. I happen to live next to a lake, and it's technically a pond now because of the ground weeds and everything and the depth, whatever. But it is technically a lake, and it's called a lake in eastern Massachusetts. Not the biggest lake, not the smallest lake. And I saw a guy walking, might have been a guy or a woman wrapped up wearing a guy mask, but I think it was a guy out there. Like 7 days ago, walking on the ice. Here's why I'm bringing this up. So I'm driving back from work, right? And I look to the left and I see this fucking guy walking on the ice. Now, I know he's fine because there were no stories in the paper or on Google about my town, right? But just, I mean, to me, the balls on that guy are steel. The reason that the balls on that guy are steel is because I'm wearing my seatbelt. I'm driving my car. I'm just like, yo, I see this out of my left eye. I go, yeah. And in my head from my childhood, I know about like weather and hydronomics and how water works. And he's basically walking over like sponge like that. He could fall into the ice at any moment. And obviously he didn't. But in my mind, I thought, I'm looking at this guy driving at exactly the speed limit, of course, um, 31 miles an hour. And I'm like, that guy's a fucking badass, man. Craig, Happy New Year. Thank you. I'm going to start with sharing videos, and I'm super glad to meet Mr. Craig DeHunter. We've met before, but when you say Puglia's, was that your local bait and tackle shop? I'm guessing that that's the case. All right. Well, we'll take. Oh, cool. Yeah. Now we had Main Street Bait and Tackle. They closed. The guy had a mullet, like a real mullet, not trying to be cool mullet, actual male with a mullet and the mustache. If anyone has ever seen the movie Office Space, the classic Office Space, he was Lawrence the neighbor. Owned that bait shop. Loved him growing up. Great guy. And then whatever happened there, I ended up as a child being taken to 2 towns over, Woburn, where there was this the fuck was that guy's name? Mike? Mikey. And Mikey would give you buckets and buckets of shiners, even though you only paid for one. I think he was a drunk before I knew what drinking was. And so that was cool. And then when I moved, I got older and I moved out of where I grew up. I moved to the South Shore of Boston, and Four River Bait and Tackle, which has freshwater and saltwater, all the premier lures you can get at competitive prices. Not an advertisement. They never paid me to say this, but the crazy thing is when I moved to the south of Boston, that's where I started going. I knew they were the best. And the reason I knew that they were the best was because the owner, Rick, was always there. And Ricky was super cool and very knowledgeable about the water and very knowledgeable about what things were happening in what seasons and sort of around the area, especially with saltwater, but also with freshwater. He really knew his shit. And then I've been going there for about 2.5, 3 years, and I was fishing real heavily those days, like 2, 3 days a week, sometimes every day on the weekends, or even Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then one day I pop in, and his two sisters, who were always there, who were running the show, even though he knew all the stuff, they like looked at me with stone faces. And you know what I'm going to say to you on this live stream now? I go, hey, one was Danielle. I forget the other one's name. And I go, what's up? And they just looked at me, and I said, Rick. And they said to me, yeah, we found him dead on the floor last night, apparently of a heart attack. So that sucked. That was not fun. That was a bad day for Jason. All right, cool, Craig DeHunter. Thank you. I'm gonna continue on. I'm just doing my thing. So I haven't been on in a very, very long time, and I don't really have a plan, but I don't really care to have a plan. Keep flowing, bro. Thank you. Of course. I mean, there's no other way to fucking do it, dude. You know that. In fact, I might just see what I can get away with. Yeah, all right. Why not? Super weird. All right. This shouldn't have to. See what
Let's see what
happens if
happens
I
if
do
I do
this.
this.
Really? All
All
right.
right,
How
how
about
about
there you go. Oh, how stupid. Okay. Let's try this again. Come on. Alright, yeah. Let's do this. Present. They change everything. That's it's fucking retarded. Come on. Present. Share bitch. There you go. You gotta treat him backward. Weird. Hit share. Go. Seriously? Sorry, guys. I'm gonna come back. If you wanna watch, that's cool. If not, I get it.